think. Welcome back, lady and gentlemen. This is the Please Understand podcast, coming live on X and YouTube for all of those docking in for a nice live stream this eve. February 25th edition, back on the Wednesday train, getting our PGA picks out in time. Isn't that something else? So that's good for all you following along that want to avoid our mistakes. So credit to us for being on schedule. Pretty interesting little moment in time here in the sports community. We're in a little bit of Super Bowl hangover. I guess the combine's starting up. Dog days of the NBA. We're waiting for madness. Kind of just stuck in limbo here. So we're going to try to just hit some headlines tonight from the Vikings perspective. Play a little game here. I don't even know how we're going to structure it. Cards on the table. But we've got some names here of potential quarterback options for the Vikings in 2026. Spoiler alert, not a list of Hall of Famers by any stretch.
Not a who's who. Yeah.
But they are names, and they are quarterbacks. So we're going to see how we feel about some of those names. Talk a little JJ. What else we got here? Check in on the Wolves. I mean, it's kind of not much is new, but we've got a little more of a sample size with DeSumo. Probably shit on Julius Randle here or there. Drive-bys on who knows who else. And then we got a pod tradition. For those of you who are diehard fans. Twins starting pitcher free agent draft. This goes back for our pod history for sure, but the Twins have been always kind of doing this. Wait until we can find some cheap guy to round out the rotation. And this year, really more than ever, after Pablo goes down, there's a spot to find. So we're going to another list of names that aren't going to really knock your socks off by any means. But we're going to do it. And then we got PGA, like we said, Cognizant Classic, a.k.a. the Honda. And we'll kind of do a check-in and maybe talk a little strategy as well. But prior to kicking off here with the Vikes, toss us a like in all our shit. Subscribe to the pod. We're on Spotify, on Apple. Pretty sure no one has the name Please Understand Anything. So just search that. Follow along, subscribe, rate our pods at 5, and let's trick these robots somehow into thinking we're like the best pod on earth or the most popular. So that's the game plan. So appreciate everybody for the support along the way, gentlemen. Talk some Vikes. Have you guys been? I kind of forgot the combine was even starting this week, and I wouldn't say we're the biggest like NFL draft, like diehards or anything. I mean, we keep tabs, but feels like the combine's almost more like news season where like all these guys just get together in the Rossinis of the world, Pelissero, all these people you start just seeing quotes that turn into headlines that turn into whatever. And there's a lot of Vikes quarterbacks, which we expected after what we just witnessed. So, I saw TikTok. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Warren Sharp, but he's been in the game, long time covering the NFL. I would put him up there as maybe one of the top nerds in ball. So certified ball knower. So I'm gonna he had a TikTok that had a couple of interesting stats. Phil just disappeared from my feed, so we'll see where
enough Vikes for him for one night. That's fine.
Yeah. Struck a nerve, understandably so. That's how bad the quarterback situation was. There's no denying that. So I'll wait to spit this. It's just a couple stats until he gets. We'll give him a minute or two. Otherwise, he may have quit the pod for good. But do you follow this week at all? Combine related? He's logging in here. Hold on.
The most I do is just whatever the Twitter is, whatever they're posting up there, any of the stick times or any records that's getting broken up there is just kind of the only intel I get. And then just based off that, it's just only for like fantasy purposes for dynasty drafts and stuff like that. Otherwise, it's nothing really. Not digging in too deep in these combines, but just whatever's just tossed out at me for the most part.
Man, did I get booted? We got some.
Okay, well, guess it's a solo pod now. I guess everybody hates the Vikings.
Take it from here. Yeah, things are going great. This is a lot of.
Mine was messed up. I had to pop out for a second.
A lot of indicators to just not do this pod, but we're gonna forge ahead.
We're gonna fight through it. Yeah.
So we'll see how it comes out in the wash. If you're listening to this, God bless you. But so the stat I was gonna say, obviously the internet's working great around here. Did a bomb go off near Cottage Grove? Who knows? Probably. What took so long? So I saw this TikTok the other day because we're in this situation now with we've got JJ. Obviously things didn't go great. Our former guy just won a friggin' bowl, and we're trying to like figure out a way forward here with a roster we still feel pretty good about. They were 9-8, all things considered, after some garbage time shit at the end. So it's kind of like the McCarthy versus, do we bring in competition? Is it more of like a insurance policy backup type situation? Like what the fuck's even going to happen here? So I saw this Warren Sharp TikTok the other day, which, he probably tweeted the same shit, but that's how I found it. So he's talking about like, McCarthy struggles, and, throughout that season where there was kind of like, well, we got to start tailoring the offense to him. And this is kind of backing up what ended up happening there. So he basically saying, he's like, the Vikes changed their entire offense because of him struggling early on. And then he goes on to say like 50% of Darnold's throws the prior year were over the middle, and he was top 10 in all the nerd stats, EPA, success rate, yards per attempt. So a huge part of our offense. And we always kept talking about like, we got to simplify things for JJ and like at least try to, give him a chance on some of these throws for a guy who just seems like in over his head. So 50% of Darnold's throws over the middle. JJ only threw 38%. Which ranked 42nd out of 45 qualifying quarterbacks. So, get ready for some stats that are going to back up the eye test. 43rd in accuracy across the middle, 42nd in EPA per attempt, and he had the worst interception rate. Probably had a couple bounce off some hands that was, running rampant throughout the season. But then the last thing he goes on to say is, the other quarterbacks that we had a lot of guys playing quarterback last year, none of them good, but he said everybody else besides JJ with their throws over the middle were either average or above average. So it's like, that to me kind of tells you like from a data standpoint of like, the struggles are very real. And even though you saw some improvements throughout the season, it's like, taking out the middle of the field, pretty tough to run an offense with that like limited of options. And it just kind of impacts you, like these little things you start to see as you're evaluating, like, do you feel good about bringing this guy, giving him another chance as a starter? Like what's the plan going to be? And I think even let me see what I had another quote here from, I think this was Tuesday. This new guy we brought, or I think he was promoted. All these titles. It's just like, and then there's like 47 like assistant coaches. I think we just hired a guy named Chili Davis, or like promoted him, or like what is going on? Like
former Twins great.
Yeah.
How about it?
He pivoted to a new kind of ball. Good for him. Versatility is
nice
important.
lateral move.
Pivot. Yeah.
But our
lateral move.
Yeah. I guess it is actually, yeah.
He's just a utility man.
He does it all. So Vikings EVP of football operations, that's got to be high up. But I think this is the guy running things until we hire a like full-on GM to replace Quezzy. Rob Brzezinski, he said on Tuesday the Vikings will, quote, explore all possibilities to improve quarterback play in 2026. It's like, okay, sure. That's kind of what everybody thought would happen. So, and it seems like they're going to get right into that. So like what we're going to try to do here, I don't know if we want to just do this as a squad I've got 7 names here,
Mm.
and we can rank these in order of like, 1 would be our top choice to start for the Vikings, and then 7 being, fuck this. 7, I didn't even send this one to you guys, but I'm like, we got to at least bring it up.
This is obvious.
It's Aaron Rodgers, so
Aaron
that's going at
Rodgers.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually 8th, and then 7 is just don't play with the quarterback at all.
7 is me just killing myself.
Yep.
So, but I saw him like popping back, like people chatter on
Rossini.
X about like just this, and we've said this throughout last year as well. Like the Rodgers stuff isn't over at all. Like, what do you think? We're going to be right back where we started over the last summer, just pissed off about this news.
So real quick, these names you're giving, how are you thinking? Like, this person's coming to be the starter, or like, where are you trying to like go with this? Are you trying to have them be the starter, the backup? Just how much you just want them on the team in general?
I say starter. Like
Starter.
rank
Okay.
like your priority of having them be the starter.
Okay.
And I think we can probably like just exclude a couple of these guys. Like you might have to trade some like draft capital to get them. Whatever. We'll set that aside for now and just go by.
Okay.
Who would you prefer kind of as your week 1 Vikings quarterback to kind of just stem the tide a little bit and just get some fucking stability within the offense. And hopefully we're not like 1-3 out of the gate and we're just right back in the same boat. So
okay,
here I'll read off the names and we'll just kind of go take it from there. Free form for all of those listening. Again, we gave you a disclaimer, this isn't going to be pretty, these names.
These are the obtainable names.
Right. And if you disagree, throw it in the comment. Tell us why you disagree or agree. Shit,
yeah.
Or if there's somebody else you want, please let us know.
I just
I
automatically go with I automatically go with disagree because I'm like, well, nobody's gonna agree with us. So
or you know what? If you want to just be a dick, throw it in the comments. All right, we'll read it.
Dick, whatever.
I don't care. Hopefully it's at least funny. All right, so 7's Rodgers. Here's the rest of the list. JJ McCarthy. How about that? Still in play.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins. We've talked about him. Geno Smith, Mac Jones, Kyler Murray, Malik Willis.
Okay.
Who jumps out as like, this is who I want as the starter week 1? Let's rank them. Anybody? Does anyone have a?
Are you? Oh, we're just going one right away.
I feel like we should. Yeah, it's hard to. They're so bad. I feel like ranking bottom up is like, well.
I'll dive on this horrible grenade first. As much as it pains me to say, like, you look at the list of names that you just gave, and the thing that kills me about this is contract wise, because the guy with the most talent is Kyler Murray. And as much as we might hate that or not, that's what it is. And a veteran guy who's done well in the league, I feel like that's maybe what KOC is looking for. I don't love it by any means, but I'm just looking at who's going to help you win the most games. And talent-wise, I think he's above the rest of these guys.
So you would put him 1. I would put him 6.
Yeah, I had him 5.
Wow.
I just don't think he's a name as well that I don't think it's even like possible. How would we even financially make that happen? But I think you would get.
I took all that aside. I just the player. If I could have a pick of any
just the
of these,
player.
That's what I did. I just a pick of any of these 7 because I don't think they'll be too hard to get. If we did end up wanting them, contracts aside, of course, that's something we can always free up cap space because that's just irrelevant and made up. So
look at the Chiefs.
So I just put it as like if I had 7 of these dudes, all 7 of these guys, who am I throwing out there week 1? That's how I did my rankings.
Okay. So let me just say this about Kyler, then I want to hear who you have 1. I know contracts aside, you do kind of have to factor that in. I think he makes $55 million.
Right.
So it's
that's
like,
why
how do you figure that in? And I feel like he's just sucked for a long time. Like, look at what they did when they went to Brissett, and I feel like he could be a locker room turd.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. Like, he's
for sure
been around. Was he a number 1 pick? Like, I think he was number 1 overall.
Yep.
But man, he's
number
small.
6 in the MLB.
Yeah. Twins. Hey.
Hey, see it? And then he could pivot. We'll trade him for Chili Davis.
Might be going high on the board in the draft later on.
Oh, let's
Tyler, fill out that rotation. So I had him 6. Sounds like you had him 5. Jake, who did you have as number 1?
I have JJ McCarthy as number 1.
Me
I'm
too.
ready to put him back in the chamber and throw him out there. 'Cause none of these other names is winning us a Super Bowl, and that's what I'm going after. So I have him as number 1. Yep, we got to see him not hurt. As long as that can happen, if we get a full healthy season, we'll know for sure by the end of next season if he's it or not. So, or probably much sooner too. But yeah, I think he's the number 1 guy I'm throwing out of this list.
He would have been number 2 on mine, so I'm right with you on that. It's the easy answer, right?
And don't give up on him. You just sent a guy to win a bowl, and it's like, don't do that twice and give up on somebody or pivot. Like, know for sure you invested a high pick in this guy. You better be certain before you kind of cut ties. But it's difficult to do that, Jake. I think you've been saying this the most of like, these guys are on the chopping block on the coaching staff. Like there's people's heads are going to roll if this season doesn't go well. And I feel like that is going to weigh on this decision to like potentially not start JJ.
That's why it's like, well, go ahead, go to your number 2. I'm curious if we have
my number 2
answer would be for this.
Would have been Mac Jones via trade.
And my 3 would have been Mac Jones as well.
Okay.
My three would have been Mac. My number 2 is Malik Willis.
Okay. Oh, okay. What? Explain.
He wins football games.
Dude, that's because of that amazing Pro Bowl defense.
That's true. He did have the greatest defense ever assembled, and then he has 17 wide receiver ones out there too. But I think he'd be just fine here.
Yeah, he would have been my 3.
How old is he? He's been in the league.
Birthday look up. Early birthday look up.
Oh, here it is.
There you go. But my question with him, while you look that up, would be just he hasn't really had a chance to be the starter for a long period of time. But how much are you gonna have to pay him? Because the end of last year, people were like, "Man, Malik Willis off these 4 games or whatever is gonna make $40 million," and I'm like, we wouldn't pay Sam 35, so why would we pay Malik Willis?
Yeah.
In the scheme of things, obviously, like you said, throw all that out the window. But
yeah,
you're gonna have to pay him.
Out the window.
Yeah. If you're gonna have to pay him, absolutely out on that.
He's 29.
Wow. So,
but is he? He's a full-on free agent. Is that his situation?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. So that's interesting. I mean, it's.
I'd rather pay him than Kyler.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I feel like there's all the time he's just kind of been sitting on the bench. Somehow he's been developing, or did you just give full credit to all the swine? I don't really know, but
hell no. But
yeah, I mean,
you just kind of wonder, is he just gonna? He would have to have another guy on the list. He would have to have that Geno Smith late career, switch that flips.
That's what KOC does.
Like you said, 29. I mean, he'll be 30 soon. And you're like, well, you've been in the league for quite some time.
Yeah, it will be either way.
It takes those broken birds and makes them fly again.
Well, yeah, he's been good at that.
You can't do it with the newborns though. That's too much.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting either way to see how much he does get, whether it's from us or not. May 25th, 99. Actually, he's 26. My bad. Fake news.
Oh, that makes a little bit more.
Anybody want to change their opinion now? 3 years younger?
That's a lot different. Well, how old is Sam Darnold, right? I think was he 26 when we got him?
You got me really on the
man. 29 and 26 is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Let's go late 20s. Late 20s.
I think Sam is probably swap those two. So JJ, and then it sounds kind of like we're ready to give him another chance at least, probably to start the season, but you do have to have a backup in place, like everyone's been saying. So then it's like Mac Jones, Malik Willis. So then this next group, Kirk, I guess, and Geno. they're kind of just falling in the middle. Is like, I not thrilled about it, but I guess you could do worse.
If you're going in and one of them is your starter, I mean, I feel like we're
not Max
we're headed
Brosner,
for we're headed
we'll
for
count
yeah
that
we're headed
blessing.
for trouble. Right. I mean, if you want to have one of those guys come in and be the backup in that situation, I'm all in for that. But if they're saying like we're gonna sign Geno Smith, he's gonna be our starter, that's like, what's the point of that?
Do it if you want. It doesn't impact our goals at all of like a deep playoff run. To me, that's what we're trying to like strive for here.
Yeah.
And it's hard to just like plug and play a quarterback in there like the Seahawks just did. that's rare. So I feel like we should just unless there's some crazy Burrow trade, something like that, which I really it's just headline grabbing shit. I don't feel like there's any truth to any of that. But this is kind of the crop that you're sorting through here. And I'm for giving JJ, like, let him try again. Like, hey, they were winning games towards the end. It might not look like you want it to, and you might not have the fantasy production from all these toys that you got on the perimeter. But he was giving you a good chance to win. And then if shit goes sideways this year, this next draft is fucking loaded at quarterback. So I'm already thinking tanking a year out. Where you could get a franchise dude and like, keep trying, keep drafting these dudes until you get it right.
You think ideal scenario with this list that we're looking at is just JJ and then bring in Mac, Kirk, or Geno as the backup? Is that where you guys are at? That would probably be my like number one option if I had to play those cards.
Yeah, I think they're gonna probably go for like make it a competition or something in camp, at least with somebody who's more established.
Fine. Yeah, or at least say that.
Yeah,
there's got to be somebody else besides JJ on this roster that can potentially start week one. It may not be pretty, but it's got to be somebody, because you can't just walk into the season with just him gifting the job on a silver platter. He doesn't deserve that.
No,
not at all.
And so we got the homie gear up. He's throwing Mariota out there. I guess he could be right in this.
I had two honorable mentions. Him and Jameis Winston, of course. So
I forgot about honorable mentions. There's number one for me for backup for sure. Like as a backup, give me Jameis Winston, dude.
And Mariota,
I think both of those guys would have been fine backups. I would have probably put him over Kyler and Geno. I had Kirk go above both those guys on this list. So
you're willing to go back with Kirky?
I'm bringing him back, man. The nostalgia. Bring back Kirk O'Chains.
Yeah, that's a Minnesota thing to do.
Yeah, we love bringing them back.
Mike Conley, what up?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are two good ones. Jameis would be awesome.
Yep.
So I think, moral of the story, like, you shouldn't be giving up on the 10th overall pick. And if he has another injury-plagued season, though, that might be it for me. It's like we're not going to be able to wait around for all this shit. And maybe you develop, like I've always said, almost not always, but I've kind of thought you're kind of playing out scenarios, like especially worst case, Minnesota sports, what up? It feels like JJ, if he ever does pan out to even be like a top 15-ish type of guy, I'm not really ever looking at him now as like, some people are like, man, there's some Josh Allen here, the athleticism. I'm like, oh, dude. I'm thinking ceiling could be like the 15th best quarterback. It's probably going to happen somewhere else if it does happen. Because Chaos, like we said, he's in win now mode. So, but man, hey, if it could still work out. I mean, we're trying to ask him to not like, you shouldn't have to do everything, right? Rely on the run game, right? We keep saying that shit over and over again. Maybe they'll get some talent in either free agency or use a high pick on a running back or something to get some more like explosiveness in the offense. But
I would love to see that.
It's a big offseason. This is a big year, I think.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons, like, just how does this shape the next 5 years? I think everything is going to be kind of decided in the next, this offseason and then this season. Like, are we going to fall to like the bottom of the division for an extended period of time, and then maybe then you're talking blow up, you know, because we do have more of like, we've got plenty of veterans on this team. That's what makes this tough. Is like, we kind of need someone to step in and fucking just be able to drive the fucking car without crashing it, and then having the next guy who takes the wheel be even worse. So it's just bringing up bad memories from last year. That was one of those toughest seasons.
That's how you
in
really
a while.
feel.
Yeah, fucking Christ. Let's move on. Did you guys watch the Wolves last night at all? I know, Jake, you weren't staying up for that bullshit, but
No, first quarter is all I got. That's all I feel like I needed to see. Missed a sweet Jaden game though.
It was.
Yeah.
You guys start remember to circle that game, that Portland game. He plays well. Homecoming game for him.
I caught it all through highlight reels. I watched that. They put out that highlight video on YouTube. I think it was like 16 minutes long. So I think I saw what I needed to see from the game. Other than Jaden waiting for, I don't know who that player was that Io got the flagrant foul on.
Yeah, I'd never heard of him. I was gonna look up where he went to college, and then I was like, you know what, fuck this guy. He's pissing me off.
He popped up to go after Io, and Jaden was just like, he was waiting for him. Surprised he didn't hit him with like a RKO or something. He was just sitting there waiting, and I just immediately pushed him away. I was like, okay.
That dude was tweaking, and that wasn't even a flagrant foul at all. Like a hard foul, because this dude's out of fucking control. He falls on his own, kind of, because his like momentum like took him that way. And then we get and Jaden got a tech for that. He was breaking up a fight, and they hit him with a technical foul.
Well, they love to do that to us. So
that was one of the.
I'm surprised they didn't give Rudy the flagrant on that. Not even involved.
Yeah, that was one of the worst Sir games of the season for sure. Jeremy Grant had like 15 free throws. The Blazers, one of the most floppy teams in the league. Like, you don't watch them all the time, but you're like, you watch anytime you tune in, you're like, man, have a little fucking respect for yourselves. Like, this is no way to try to climb out of the fucking, dumps of the league.
Yeah.
But it was the same shit of like, and he was flopping all night as he just picks.
He is like, he takes a page out of Lou Dort's book. Lou Dort,
physical defender, but a little bit of wind knocks him over. It's like, man, that's just some cunty ball, and I'll never support that.
They talk about him, how they talk about like these best wing defenders, and it's like, you just saw the best wing defender in the NBA last night put up some insane stats defensively and scored 29 points. It's like, when are people going to wake up?
I know. And that's why he pisses me off too. As I was watching that game, like, you just kind of throughout watching NBA, you figure out guys who you just really hate, who are just randos. I know we've all got our kind of series of players. He's really climbing because he was all defensive second team, I think, last year over Jaden. And I'm like, man, what a crock of horse shit for a flopper like that. And I think they showed a stat last night that he leads the NBA in like offensive fouls drawn. It's like, okay, that to me is a Sir stat and a silver. Like, I've lost the fucking plot of what kind of basketball people are wanting to watch in the NBA. I was just disgusted to see that.
And they didn't even have Avdija last night, and he's like the king from everything I've heard. He's just the flop king over on that team.
Wemby hit him with a little drive-by, I think, over the All-Star break. They like asked him about him, and the first thing he said was like, "Yeah, a lot of free throws." I like that. I kind of like Wemby in a weird, like, it's like he has this cloak of being an international player where you're just like, I don't know, the French, are they just more direct? He'll just come out and just hate on bullshit in the end, and he's an anti-flopper as well. So like, I feel like I'm liking what I'm seeing out of him in the media. But it was just a dusty, same old shit over and I think we had 4 turnovers in the first like 5 minutes. I mean, just lazy ball. Nas looked terrible. Julius, I guess they're now saying like he's been sick. He didn't really care. Ant had, I think, 25 in the first half, 25. And then he was ice cold, but they weren't giving him any calls. You can go on X and see a video montage of all the times he's getting hacked. And then towards later in the game, he was just not driving because it's like, well, what's the point? I'm not getting to the line. So he was just shooting a bunch. They were open threes, but he missed them all. But Rudy showed up late and all over the glass, hit a pair of free throws, was just beasting these boys. Maybe got away with the moving screen. Kamara did sell it hard, but it was one of those where you're like, I kind of thought the Sirs would hit him with that one. And I think it was an in and out three that Ant made, but it got me thinking kind of just bigger picture. Dosunmu was kind of just another guy out there again. So I wanted to talk about him and then Julius a little bit, and we can get off of these. The Wolves are just playing the same season again, like they've done over and over, which we've talked about over and over. But we got Dosunmu and we're like, all right, this is perfect. Didn't have to give up much. Finally got a nice piece off the bench. I was really hopeful because of how devastated Bulls fans were to lose him. And the one thing that I saw kind of on X was just like his plus minus was always terrible. And now he's kind of getting hit with that in the games we've played as the Wolves. And there's been a couple just disasters, like that first game, Clippers. I think he was like minus 33. That wasn't like his fault. That shit was out of control pretty early, but he's got he was minus 10 last night, minus 25 against Philly. And then in between there were three positives. So it's just like, what do you make of that? Probably still trying to, find his footing with the team. But Jake, do you have any additional thoughts in what you've seen from him since those initial couple of games?
Yeah, it's nice. He's obviously not the same person that he was in Chicago. He was hot in Chicago, but I think he just has to come in, find his role, find his spot on the team. It's a totally different thing out there when you're just kind of running out there with dudes you never played with before. You need a little bit of that chemistry. So I think he's just working for that. That plus minus stat it's bad, but when you're coming off the bench on the Wolves, if Nas isn't hitting his shots, you're going to be in negative 10 easy. So that's just how it's going to go. We have just a horrible bench. So it's not easy to get a plus number coming off the bench in Minnesota. So I'm not worried. Give him a couple more games here. We got, I think, 23 left before playoffs. I'm sure he'll find a spot there and be ready to go come playoff time. That's all I care about.
Mm-hmm. Can he hang with the Thunder?
Yes.
I think he's perfect for that matchup, actually. That was one of the first things I thought when we brought him in. Like the quickness, he, like Jake said, he's just going to get more comfortable, especially like figuring out defensive rotations. He's got the motor. I'm not really worried about him at all.
I think they are still experimenting with combinations with him too. And, you got to figure out how to play with all these guys too. Like, especially we've got two of the biggest like ball stoppers in the league. He's trying to figure all that out because he's coming from a team now he's on a team that like doesn't really have a point guard. And the Bulls had like three almost like on the court at once. So the other part of this too, the games he's been here, Clippers, Hawks, Blazers, Mavs, Sixers, Blazers again. That's a bunch of teams that chances are we're probably not going to try that hard. So let me see him in like some real battles, like playing alongside the rest of the guys that care. You know what I mean? Like,
let me ask you a question though. They play Denver coming up, and you're like, they always get up for Denver, even if they lose. It's a close game, whatever. But it's at 2:30, so I don't know what to think.
And I think Denver's bleeding a little bit on that injury report, so I don't think they're 100% healthy either. So we definitely ain't showing up for that one.
That is not a good thing.
and we go back and forth, and we talk about like, are they going to show up tonight, and just the laziness factor and whatever. And then you look at the standings, and they're a half game behind third. And I know we can play the whole game if they showed up for this game, that game, whatever. Clearly, all these other teams aren't only beating good teams or beating bad teams and losing the good teams or whatever either. So the West, it's kind of just what it is, and we just have to wait. Everybody's like, can we just get to playoffs? Can we get to mid-April already?
Yeah,
the regular
championship
season
caliber team, though. I don't care about those other teams that are fucking around in the middle. We should be the 2 or 3, and if we are, we avoid OKC as long as possible. That'd be Western Conference Finals, and that's the smart thing to do. So
Yep.
I don't care. I win your games, practice hard, play hard. That's a big thing. So I'm not giving them any participation trophies this season. Go out there and do what you're getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars to do, win games.
And it's just a lack of like learning lessons. This is the same
It's
shit every year.
blatantly
It's
obvious
like,
too.
yeah. And so I
So
put
like,
some of that.
were they kind of little just maybe off tonight? No, it's they literally are giving 50% out there, and you can just tell because they're just standing watching on defense half the time.
And this is last night. That was third game removed from the break, and you guys are, look at that Philly game. You're like, couldn't get up for that one. It's like, those are things that really frustrate you as a fan of this team because we know how good they can be. We've got the ability to be the best team in the NBA if they fucking show up and want to. But, Julius can't be bothered, even though a lot of the time it's like get Nas in there to close, like Nas was not the solution last night. And Julius did make some key buckets in the second half. Defense, I'm sure you guys can gather how that went. It wasn't the best, but it always kind of makes me, it reminds me where we always say, like, put Nas in at the 4. It's like, it's not just that easy. There's plenty of times where we're waiting for that consistency out of Nas. And, he disappears sometimes. And I know he was coming off of that shoulder, missed the last game. I'm like, is he rusty? He had a careless play later in the fourth where shot clock was kind of winding down. We're moving the ball there in rotation, and they just pass it to not. He's wide open in the corner and tries to one hand catch the pass off his hands out of bounds. It's like wide open corner 3. We just punt a possession away, just being lazy. So the last thing I'll bring up here, we kind of always keep hitting on this, but just rotation wise, we've had Mike back now. I think, I don't know if he was available was he there for the Dallas game?
I think so.
So it's basically since the break, but Bones is still playing ahead of him. Even TJ we've seen get in ahead of him. And I think he's had 2 out of 3 DNPs. So our initial fears of the 20 guaranteed minutes so far. But the game he did play, did you hear Finch afterwards? He's like, I probably should have played him more.
Yeah. I honestly think well, that was the game we were missing Nas and Rudy, so there was a lot of weird rotation
Mike at the 5.
On. But I just thought it was funny because I feel like he was trolling people.
He might have.
I think that was a troll comment for sure.
Yeah. But still, like that game, I guess you don't take much stock in that with those two guys both out, but it was like he was just randomly throwing, like, Jalen Clark, try him. Mike's in here. It's like they couldn't figure anything out with Baron J and Randall. I think they both had 3 fouls like pretty early on. Yeah. And so we just did not have a big and it did not work.
Which is funny because we if I remember right, we were very close in rebounding, if not just like a dead even type of thing. So you're like, oh, without the bigs, that's pretty good. But we couldn't guard the 3-point line to save our lives, and these guys were making every single 3 on Philly. Yeah. And it's like, oh, you had all your guards to guard that. So
was it Maxey? He could walk backwards, blindfolded into the lane, just get a layup whenever he wanted to too. So it's like, what are we even doing out here, guys?
Yeah, Rudy isn't there to clean up after everybody. Then it's like, well, fuck it, we'll see you guys next game. and you saw it last night too. I mean, the Rudy slander. I'm not hearing any of that shit, man. Like, everybody always wants to trade him away, and it's a basketball IQ little litmus test. If people know what the fuck they're watching, it's easy to just be like, oh, he dropped a pass. It's like, dude, he's literally screening for the entire offense to open up. Like last night, the way Portland defends, they're picking up 94 feet. So pretty much the whole game is like, throw it to Rudy at the top, and then kind of just keep running your man off of him as like a screener. And that was basically the offense for a lot of the game. And I kind of was like, man, I was wondering if he might pull the trigger on a 3. He was so alone out there at the top of the 3-point line.
Did he shoot one was that the end of the Mavs game? But they were like,
I
oh,
don't
even if he
know.
made it, they were like, toe might have been on the line.
Jim said that. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
God, he's got to watch those feet because we're trying to get that in the stats. You know,
Just
Right.
huge, man.
not a great shot. But he's got to start making his free throws, and he knocked down a big pair last night. Showed a big pair in that dub. But yeah, these guys are ready for playoffs, so it's like,
yeah,
T-Wolves related stuff. It's, you know, Ant had a great first half, but it's like we're just saying the same shit over and over again until we have like a series or like, you know, maybe the next Denver game, like you said, Sunday. There's a couple Pistons games. One of them got flexed into a matinee, so L.
Oh, couple fight games. Let's go.
I know, yeah. And then
I think we've got 23 left
OKC.
and 12 are national televised. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I went blurry. There we
go.
The
season hot.
Oh, yeah, right.
Let's get it. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of like overreacting for national media that doesn't watch our laziness all the time, and they're just gonna be hating on us, which good. I'd rather be slept on. Yeah, we agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's draft some pitchers. Who's taking Kyler number 1?
He's gonna play second base for me.
Before we start, I don't know what order we want to do this. Phil, I think you have the only correct pick in the draft's history.
In the history,
yeah. Late July signing, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, we take it any way it comes, baby.
Yep. Dallas Keuchel, I believe. That happened. Good job.
Did that happen?
I think this was last year. So last year's order, I think we let you pick first because you had the belt. I think you were coming off of a Dallas Keuchel selection. So that went you, Jake, and then me. You went James Paxton, first overall selection.
Nice. Yeah.
Then you took Alex Wood and the homie Danny Duffy.
What a lineup.
Jake wasn't going to leave this draft without Kyle Gibson. He went number 1 on his board. Probably very high up on all of our boards. And then he took second pick this draft, a staple in this draft, Johnny Cueto. Who I'm sure, and another one right after that, Rich Hill, who will never retire.
Real who's who for my picks.
And then I just had a bunch of sacks of shit. I took Lance Lynn. I think I don't know what he's doing. Patrick Corbin and Noah Syndergaard. So
nice.
All right.
Those are real names. Those are real people.
Those are real names and real people drafted. Trying to pick a real one.
So for those of you who don't know, we started doing this because the Twins always seem to sign a real random pitcher who usually it was beginning of the year, right? Where they would just pitch for like a month. And they would be like, okay, and then they'd get released or get hurt or something else. And so we're just trying to predict who the shitty random pitcher is going to be. So that's how this
usually a guy we wanted like 2 or 3 years ago. And then they're finally like, you know what? Let's bring this dude in. It's like, well, we kind of wanted him.
He's on sale now.
Before COVID, but yeah, no, he's way cheaper.
Chris. No 2 for 42.
And I think this was usually like to circumvent the service time shit to like can you get us to June or something and just not be a complete disaster. But now it's kind of the point of this draft is getting a little tougher because of all this like bullpen game, fart sniffy analytics bullshit that goes on with some of that stuff. But we will continue the tradition. Anybody, what are we thinking for draft order? Does anyone care? Or should we just keep it the same since you technically haven't lost the belt since nobody else
you still the defending champ.
Won. So let's just keep the same order. Snake, of course. Snake draft.
All right, got to get real kind of into this here.
On the clock. Now this is serious. Okay. So
it's funny because the list I have, it shows their previous team and their previous amount of money made. And because we're cheap as shit, I got to go towards the bottom of this list.
Yeah, scroll down.
And I'm going to go to, there's a couple guys that didn't even play for a team last year. It doesn't look like so, but I'm going to go with, what's that?
He's in there. That means they're in their prime for us then.
Yeah. You know what? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and do that and take Carlos Carrasco, number 1.
Ooh.
Nice.
No team last year, which makes him unrestricted free agent, which means he'll be cheap. And that's what we like.
Maybe just even an invite to spring training. Minimum
There you go.
wage.
So there might be 2 then, Tags.
You got 1, and then I'm doing 2, and then it'll be back to you. Does that make sense?
What, me? Yeah, right. Me for 1.
Yeah, you pick 2. Yep.
Oh,
All
I
right,
thought
I'll
you
go
said,
for
are
the
you picking 2? My bad.
No.
We'll cut that out. Just kidding. We won't.
Yeah. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Pick as many as you want, honestly.
Actually, there's no wrong here. But I'll stick with the Chief guys. I'm gonna go with Zach Little. Our insider might have brought him up last week too, so maybe there's still a possibility out there.
Yeah, he was loving his stuff. I can't get I can't leave this draft without Nestor the molester
Nice.
Cortez,
Yeah.
southpaw to the draft. I think he's still interested in playing professionally. And hey, you know what? Tradition is important with this contest. I'm going to go ahead and take Patrick Corbin again.
Nice.
There it is.
Nice. Yeah.
One of these years.
He was on the list for sure.
One of these years.
I like
these
how
guys-
they're all the bottom of the barrel picks. We haven't picked anybody near the top. It's great. This
not-
this
yeah.
list.
No,
Yeah, they're too
we ain't paying
expensive.
nobody, come on now.
These guys, they're
Yeah.
expecting that
Expensive.
the Twins want these guys to pay them for like an opportunity. Even though the correct pick is just nothing. Do nothing.
Right.
Yeah,
Damn it, you
it's
stole
just
my pick.
empty rotation spot. Yeah, vacant would be the right pick.
Yep.
All right, Jake.
This guy's been on my big board for a couple of drafts, so I feel like it's
Mm.
finally time to get him. That's Wade
Destiny
Miley.
pick.
Oh, Wade. 39 years old. Yeah, that's
Forever young.
Don't take no for an answer.
makes sense.
Take Wade.
All right, so I got two to close.
Yeah.
All right.
Two
all
big
right.
ones here, man.
We're going. I'm just going with the ageless wonder here. Alex Cobb. I'm sure he's been on my board from time to time for this draft.
That's
Somehow
probably
still
true, yes.
38. I figured he'd be about 48 by now. So we'll go with him. And we will go with Marcus Stroman, another guy without a
Ooh.
home.
That's another guy I've wanted on the Twins for about 5-6 years. So
Right. Now he's almost 35. So
water's fine, bud.
time.
Come on in now. Yeah.
Water's fine and the expectations are low.
I found
Interested
this
yet?
dude on, yeah, I found this dude on the free agent list. I don't know if he actually is, if he's retired, possibly dead, but I think he'd be an awesome signing. I'm gonna go Scherzer.
Yeah, I think
Come
he
on
is.
in, baby.
he's
I
on
know
there.
you want to shake a little rust off of that trade deadline, then we'll get you right to a contender, bud. I promise.
Yeah, there it is.
Go
There
get
it
that
is.
rust off first, though.
He might be doing the vet, like, let's see where things are standing in like June.
Once,
I don't
once
need
a
to be in
contender
spring
blows a
training,
couple
dude.
arms out, yeah.
Yeah,
then
I'm
I'll come on
old.
in.
I ain't doing that. I ain't going down to
playing
Fort
that game.
Myers. This guy I'm picking is retired, but hey, we
Mr.
talked about it
Irrelevant.
earlier. We like bringing our guys back. I'm taking Gibson this year. We can't let him not get picked. Wow,
Hell
Gibson.
yeah.
He's
Style, baby.
he's recently retired. There could be some regret. Maybe he sees an opportunity to cash a paycheck here.
Does it count if the Twins broadcast team drafts him this year? 'Cause
Probably
I thought his name was floated around for one of the guest people to come in and commentate
Oh,
on a game one
Christ.
time.
Well,
Good God.
he's
Does
close.
that count?
Yeah, get him in the building. That's the first step.
That's the first step.
But I think they're planning on just having Taj Bradley start, or maybe he was already in the rotation. I already can't remember what Dan even said last week, but I think they said that was Taj, like, maybe this was a fake news that I got hooked on, but
It's going around. It's out
it
there.
was like they weren't going to let him go pitch in the WBC. They're like keeping him in training or spring training. So I'm like, well, that sounds like
Okay.
he's going to be in the rotation, or they'll just do a 4-man rotation and just be like, whatever, Cody Clemens, you just pitch every time we need a 5th guy. If we don't have an off day in there, like you're just gonna,
Yeah, as long as
we're gonna
you
lose
can.
anyway. So just go take a whooping.
Mhm.
All right. We will monitor this throughout the season. One of the most exciting drafts you will ever see. Carrasco, number 1. Littell, apparently people like that one. I don't know.
I feel like
Bring
we
up
got some winners here
youngins.
this year. We'll see.
I mean, when you look at these names a year later, like I read initially, you're just like, what was going on in the world?
Why? Oh, that's why they're in the free agents. That makes sense now. Okay.
Yeah, I took Syndergaard. I don't know what he's up to. So yeah,
just podcasting like us.
I'm sure. Yeah, I've wanted him
Probably.
on the Twins for a while, but 11 years later, and how many surgeries? Okay, I think we've
Enough of
maxed out on
that.
baseball for maybe the rest of the year.
Opening day.
Let's talk what we want to talk about. Golf, one and done. Cognizant Classic. Everybody be safe out there. We are now on the Florida swing. So when we wake up tomorrow, will have gone quite bad. Scroll right to the bottom of that leaderboard and start looking for names.
For withdrawals.
Find the one
Florida
we're about
tradition.
to vote for here. Yeah,
I know. That's always the scary thing about Florida. I mean, you start with the Hawaii and you're like, man, I love me some primetime golf. And then, a month and a half later, you wake up and you got a guy 7 over through like 6, and you're like, God damn it. I'm just getting out of bed Thursday. My week is over. Thanks, Florida. But there's some good tournaments coming up. So who's going first tonight? Or do you want to do the briefing on where we stand?
Oh, yeah, we can do a little recap here. So there was Genesis last week. We had Tommy Fleetwood, who got a T7, our biggest payday of this year by far. You got $603,000 for that one. Moved us from 83rd to 75th. We now finally got over the $1 million mark total on the season. And our first top 10 of the year. So things are looking good. Going in the right direction here.
Trending.
I like how you put that. Things are looking good.
Also for the Jets too, shout out Bridgman. That homie hit me a big old payday betting him out. So
great
love
pick.
him. Appreciate you, Mr. Jacob.
Jacob's got to stick together.
I've been betting that too a long time, so just sticking with all the Jakes.
He would have been a pick on my list this week for sure. I'm very surprised that
a lot of people
dip
field. This is going to be a very chalky one and done, I do believe.
I think
not too many big dogs out there. A lot of dust, but it's all right. We got.
I mentioned this earlier, just before, like strategy wise, we were kind of talking offline of like, we haven't had a winner. That was our first top 10. At some point we might have to start like trying to really get different, but it's still February here. Should we let's get to the week of the players and kind of then reassess. Let's just keep sticking to this. That's
the first big money. The 3 big monies are Players, U.S. Open, and the Masters. Those are the 3 biggest pots. So that's where we got to strike. And then I think we get past the Players, we'll kind of see where we're sitting, try and get a little cute. We'll see.
Yeah, agreed. Let's not completely throw the plan out just yet. So
and this is a lower money event, and I don't feel like throwing a dart here, so I think it's my turn to go first anyway. So I'll toss mine out.
Yes.
My first number 1 is Nicola Højgaard. We'll go one of them. Probably going to be picking the wrong one, which is fine.
One of the Højgaards.
Give us a Højgaard. Can't go wrong.
And then I'm going to go Ryan Gerard. And then my final one is Shane Lowry.
Yep.
Sugar Shane, the Florida.
Super chalk. Yep.
Yeah, he was butthurt, it sounded like, in the media.
3 of these guys are going to be chalk, I think.
For sure.
Yeah. Am I next? I don't know.
Yes, you are.
I'll just say, because me and you have the same first 2. So I had Nikolai and then Gerard.
Oh,
Gerard has been a guy we've been looking at. I've been waiting more for like betting purposes. And he's like the favorite now. I'm like, I ain't betting
he's
Gerard.
I know. So I think,
But I'm like, well, he makes sense as a one and done. So those were my first 2. And then I had Keith Mitchell third. So
Cashmere.
Killer.
Well, I'm interested to see how these points work out, because I went super chalky too. Mine's just a little bit different. I went Shane, then Gerard, and then Nikolai.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So
guessing
what we got here?
Nikolai's probably going to get that then, right? If you guys both had him at 1,
6.
that's 7.
Yeah, so Højgaard would be 7.
I'm not
Gerard's
doing
got
that.
a solid 6 for 3 second places. Lowry's got he's only got 4 for Hags to pick him. Yeah, it is Højgaard, and we definitely have the wrong one.
Yeah, Rasmus, congrats on the dub, dude.
Can you
on the
just
dub there.
Can you just write Højgaard in and see if they
Yeah, just pick,
that.
see if we get a twofer on this one.
or like write
Nice
just
little
do, like,
BOGO.
First like letter, last name, and then like just write it kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
And
kind of
then we can
scribble it in.
And then we'll claim whichever one of the they're both gonna
That's a
miss the
smart
cut,
way to
and
do
we'll
it.
just take
Yeah.
whoever was closer.
No, I picked the other Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
People used to, did you guys ever do mock drafts on ESP? Like there would always be some, like we're just like, dude, I'm just
For
trying
the
to see
auction draft?
how this might
Yeah.
unfold
Yep.
as like a practice. Some asshole would always just take Adrian Peterson, the other one,
From the
Yep.
and
Bears.
just throw the whole
Yeah.
thing. And you're like, dude, this isn't funny anymore. Like,
I
what
remember,
are you trying
like-
to fucking do?
I remember being in a couple where somebody would take like Tom Brady or Michael Vick or just like one of the top quarterbacks. They just take them first, and you're like, thanks a lot. I'll go join another room. Appreciate that.
Mock ethics. I mean, they've just
Yeah, come on with it,
fallen through
man.
the roof.
Ethical
I used to
mocks.
do some with like when I lived with some roommates, we would just get in the same mocks and just like cyberbully some random person in there just to see like what they would say.
What a nice guy. What a nice guy.
Yeah, they never knew. So John Blanco, if you're out there, I'm sorry, man. Nothing personal. We were just bored. Trying to
It's just a goof, man.
pass the time through a mock. That's really all
He's-
it is.
That guy's sitting on his couch listening to this podcast, and it's like that scene in Billy Madison where Steve Buscemi crosses his name off.
Yeah.
Congrats. That was a nice apology.
Yeah, I know. So we're getting to wrap up. We've got shout outs. I was going to look up the, unless Jake, you might know it off the top of your head, just the schedule here for PGA. I got it up here now because I think next week is right back to another Siggy event, which would be, I think, 3 out of 4 weeks. Signatures.
Yes.
So we go Cognizant, which is a much easier setup now. So it's kind of different to DFS,
It's a little-
DraftKings
yeah,
bet.
a little late. Watch your course horses. Don't go all strictly off that this week if you're picking golfers. Not exactly
Yeah.
truthful.
They've turned the 10th into a par 5 in the last like 2 years. So like that helps scoring for sure. So yeah,
overseeing grass and it just plays a lot easier, I guess. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows?
they all hate it too. Like, and you see it. The field this is the worst field maybe of the year so far.
Till the 3
So
a.m.
then you got we'll be there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Just-
Boots on the ground.
Just hot as fuck. Just kind of like not saying it to each other, but kind of like wishing we didn't go.
Oh, last year was that. Remember that?
It was-
Wasn't it like almost 100 degrees out?
It was.
It
so
was,
fucking
yeah.
hot, dude.
We were like, guys,
Breaking a
it's
Nas
been an
retail.
hour. You guys ready to
Yeah.
go? Or
had to shelter under a Nas towel for survival.
yeah. Shout out to Troy Hudson though. Saw him out
Yeah,
there.
took the shuttle
true, that's
to
true.
the event with T Hud. Small world. So Cognizant, Arnold Palmer next week. I think that's I think that field is like a 120 field. Some of these, it's like, do they have a cut? Do they not? Whatever. We'll figure it out that week. And then players right after that. And then Valspar, Texas Children's, Houston, Valero, and then the big dog. We're already
Big
to the
dog.
Masters. It'll be here before you know it.
Best
All right,
sports
shout
time
outs.
coming up. Best sports
It
time.
is.
Maybe that'll be my
Ne-
shout out. Yeah, best sports time of year coming up right now, man. Just everything. March Madness, NFL draft, NFL free agency. I think is what March. It's usually like very beginning of March 7th or 8th or something like that.
I think it's just like whenever
Playoffs.
Schefter gets back from
Playoffs.
vacation, they're like, all right, let's start
Yeah,
another.
fire it up.
Fired up.
Yeah.
We're back.
It's a good time of year.
Yeah, for sure. Any shout outs, Jake, or you just were
The only thing I
do it.
had, we had a viewer or listener tell me that we forgot to mention one positive thing that the Twins are doing this season, and that is $2 beers pregame. Big deal for a lot of A lot of people out there. So if you plan your Tuesdays correctly, you can get $2 beers and then $1 hot dogs. So do with that knowledge as you please. Have a good time. Be safe. Not feel sorry for your bathroom the next day.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's
Shit
only
your pants
there's only
Wednesdays for the day games.
There's only one problem with that though. It's only for season ticket holders.
Is
Oh,
it?
is it?
I'm not kidding.
And we
Yeah,
even got
yeah.
any. Damn. That's why they did that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because they're like, no one has season tickets.
And it's only for
Yeah,
people
like,
that are from Australia.
Yeah.
Man. I didn't see that. That felt like that was conveniently left out. Or maybe I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm not reading shit.
All I saw was $2 beers, and I was like, fuck yeah. And I just kept scrolling.
I'm like that, retweet and favorite it for later on. But I also I don't want to give that team any money. That's the situation, I think, this year. And, we had the Twins pod last week and uploaded all that shit on. So I've been, interacting with the fans in the comments. You know how that goes.
Passionate.
We're casuals, of course. We forgot Toby Gardenhire on the. If you don't know their coaching staff in and out, you're a fucking idiot. You don't know ball whatsoever.
Toby Gerhardt is on the staff.
Toby, did I say Gerhardt? Gardenhire?
No. I'm just kidding.
They might both be. I don't fucking know.
Apparently, Grady Sizemore's on there, so who knows?
Confirmed today, first base coach. I think, unless they're just rotating shit in spring, could be weird. He's number 0. Again, wearing the jersey.
Possibly, maybe a season ticket holder. We don't know. We'll figure that part out too.
And possible, alternate outfielder. He's on the field.
Yeah,
he looks to be in shape. But yeah, it's like, are we boycotting the season? Everybody's like, I'm not giving them a dime, this and that. It's like, well, $2 beers. I mean, that's basically nothing.
$1 dogs? I mean,
$1 dogs. Yeah, I mean, that's the challenge, but I don't know. I'm sure we'll all be out there a little bit.
They're
like,
seeing full.
I know. Yeah. Collectively, though, I think we're gonna see these, these attendance numbers pretty ugly, pretty early. I would think, unless somehow they just luck into some younger players coming up and just being awesome. Emmanuel Rodriguez has already hit 2 home runs like over the weekend, and you're like, God, and they'll send him to AAA. So, what are those Saints prices for beers?
Hey, with today's day and age, just being able to say whatever the hell you want, maybe they'll just skew the numbers. They'll be like, no, we had 34,000 last night. You guys didn't see it? And then there'll just be a picture of it. Yeah, a picture of an empty stadium. Makes sense.
They would do that for sure. I don't really have any shout outs. I'm just a piece of shit. So
that's okay. We know.
I think people get that by now. So we'll get back to everybody next week. So Nikolai Højgaard, avoid him. Jake, did you bet him? Who did you bet on this week? We should be checking in on your betting card.
That's the thing. Yeah, I've hit 2 so far this year. It got her up as well. I got a big one on old David Ford out there. Stay away from him. Deep diving on Smotherman. I got a McGreevy, your boy Houtung, and Billy Ho rounding out my 5 this week.
Nice. Wow. Do you just do 5 every week?
For the most part, yeah.
Typically,
last week I think I only did 3, but one of them had to be Bridgman, so that was sweet.
Man, that was great. What a hit.
Yeah. Also, buddy, you were up 7 strokes with 15 holes left, and it came down to the final putt, just making me just wish I cashed out way long time ago.
Right.
God, that sucked, man. I was hungover as fuck on Sunday too. It was a horrible day.
Yeah, that's it's always a white knuckle, no matter what.
It's like how 7-stroke lead,
right? And Rory, of course, holds that one on 18. Which was just a ridiculous
easily won
shot.
That tournament if he could putt,
right.
But of course he didn't bring his putter.
Yeah, I felt good for your chance, just for the fact that you kind of have to look at how many realistic chasers are there. Because Rory was like, what was Bridgman going into Sunday? I think he was 19 under. Rory, I think, was 13. There's like one guy at 12, one guy at 11. And when you have a guy sitting on the lead, even if it's a big lead, like you have to just understand someone in this field is going to shoot like 8 under. Mm-hmm. And it was Kitayama, and he was luckily far enough back and you had a big enough cushion to go in.
Barely.
Because it's hard to back.
Barely,
Like his
yeah.
Bridgman's Saturday round was fucking phenomenal. Some of the shots that dude hit.
He was hot.
So
Yep,
that's
tossing
where he won
darts.
the tournament. You know, get yourself that big lead. Because I had the same position the week prior. I had Akshay up 6 shots on Saturday, and I don't even know if it was even top 10 by the end of that thing on Sunday
know.
at Pebble. So you're just like, well, you know, a lot can happen. But Bridgman was trending, and I didn't realize that he had as much power as he did. I usually go Genesis as like a Bombers type of a track. And it played that way. Most of the guys on the board were long hitters. Of course, I had Ryan Fox up there just pissing me off. But he's the real deal. I think he's up to 20th in the world now, and way to just keep, you know, sticking to your guns. I think you've been betting him prior weeks, even before this.
Yeah, I had him at least 2 or 3 times. I've been trying to chase that dragon.
Yep.
He'll be an interesting first timer out at the Masters.
Yeah,
because his game is just so dialed in.
Irons.
Yeah,
That's what I usually
he's
look at.
right, exactly. The second shot, and that'll be interesting to see what his price is come Masters.
Yeah, don't get too high now.
Yeah,
Easy.
Easy. Got to be just right. All right, we've gone a little over, just yapping a little too long, but we'll be back next week. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Yeah, keep it real. Have a good one. Bless up. Check you guys later. Peace.